Today's episode is sponsored by Sandals Resorts and BriteCo Insurance. What's up, Chillas? Today, we're going to be talking about how a wedding really is so much like a live theater production, and also why you should consider Chicago for your wedding destination. And talking about all these fun things is Amy Nolan and Carolyn Johnson, who are the owners of an event Less Ordinary based in Chicago, Illinois, here in the U.S. And your origin story is so fun to me. Tell us how you met and how that led to you to create this awesome company.
Oh, thank you so much for having us, Leah. This is so exciting.
We met in 2008 when we were both performing in a production of Grease, the musical. We were both Pink Ladies. I was Rizzo and she was Marty. And so we were forced to be friends forever, obviously. And one day decided, hey, do you want to start a business? And kind of just like that, it happened and unfolded from there. So,
yeah, when you told me this, I was so excited because I background right here in musical theater. And so, I love that connection that you guys have and how theater brought you two together.
Yeah, we really like the acting thing. I don't know if you know this, it's hard. So we were both just kind of like wondering where career, we were both office managers, wondering where our careers were going and what we were doing. And so we were just like, what if this? Because I had seen The Wedding Planner. I still have the VHS of J-Lo's famous movie.
The headset.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The headset, the feeding the best man speech.
Do you carry around like the whole arsenal of things that are needed?
We did indeed do our first kit. Do you remember that first kit?
No.
It was in a polka dot suitcase that we bought at Target.
Oh, yes.
We bought everything.
Everything you could possibly need. Groom socks are my favorite thing that's in there.
Groom
Oh my gosh.
socks.
Because we've used those before.
Oh, I bet.
Because, those, sometimes they'll come with white socks on with their tuxes.
I mean.
But
anyway.
yeah, it was a ridiculous kit. And we've pared it down since then.
Aside from the kit, do you remember your first wedding that you did?
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you want to know? Oh, my God.
Oh, tell us. We want the tea.
So as we said, we decided to just start a business like willy-nilly, like. We thought, let's just start a business.
It was with all the optimism of like 22-year-old millennial women.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 26. You were 22. Three,
I don't know. Who knows?
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We were young.
But it was, that millennial optimism. Obama is president.
Ugh.
We can do anything.
Yeah. So we thought we could do anything. And we did. Yeah. We advertised on Craigslist, as one does. And no one had any business hiring us because who are we? We were like, we're going to be good at this. And someone else was like, cool. So she hired us and we charged so little, like a minuscule amount of dollars because we knew that we, again, had no business being there.
We had to get the experience.
Right. So we're like, you're our test subject wedding. Good luck. So it went great. We did a great job. And then about halfway through the evening, the bride changed shoes and she put on Louboutin shoes. And we realized that they cost twice as much as we did that day. It was humbling.
Did you immediately change your pricing after that?
Yes. And we have been trying to figure out how to price ever since. But that's always our goalpost there. It's be more than the shoes.
Yeah.
So.
Cost more than the Louboutin.
You're working harder than the heels.
Working harder than the heels.
Lord. Anyway.
I feel like that's a lot of planner statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time do you remember when we tried to wear high heels?
Oh, for like an hour.
There was 1 hour.
One really classy wedding at the Art Institute. And we thought, we better class this up. We got to wear our heels. And this was probably like our third or fourth wedding.
Yeah, it was July of that year.
We didn't know yet. And did we bring backup shoes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But it was the ceremony and we're like, that's the most stressful time of a wedding day is right before the ceremony. And we were just running around in high heels, not like 2 inches. No, like 3 and 4 inch heels.
Oh my God.
Dumb. I've never, ever worn. I don't think I've ever worn heels since, honestly.
Probably
unless
not
it was
since
for
that
a photo shoot.
Yeah. No heels, rule number 1.
Right. So I mentioned in the beginning about how there's so much similarity in weddings and a live event like a theater production. So kind of break down for us what that looks like, because a timeline for a wedding is very similar to a run of show.
Yeah, we often say that we sort of act as a stage manager at a wedding. Yeah, you wanted to.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's stage management. You're making sure all the players are in the right places and everyone's going on cue, and we're pausing for things. So, I mean, you can't really do that with a live theater production, but you're just making sure everything is running smoothly behind the scenes so that the couple who are the leads of the show are having a great time and not noticing anything going wrong.
Yeah, remember that. If you're a couple planning, you are the main characters, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And the audience will never know what's going on behind the scenes.
No.
Yeah, your guests and the vendors, they're the cast and crew.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. We're the tech. We're running around in our blacks, with headsets.
Stage black.
Exactly.
We did have headsets, didn't we?
Like for a hot second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave those up as quickly as
we had little
the
walkies.
shoes.
And now it's just your cell phone.
Yeah, we got iPhones, and that made a lot more sense.
Now it's just eyes across the room.
Yeah.
You know the signals by this point.
They're like doing the baseball signals. Yeah.
So set changes are much like room flips.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And room flips are not something that we've really truly tackled here on the show.
Oh,
yeah, surprisingly. So what's your advice for couples? Because, back in the day, once upon a time when I had gotten married, it wasn't something I had actually considered, but it's something I got forced to do because everything was in the same space. And so there was like that hour-long like flip time. And I don't want people to ever have to go through that pain because it's a mess. No one knows where to go.
Yeah. Someone recently said to me, well, you guys can do that quickly, right? It only takes like 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
To flip the room. And I was like,
what?
No. Like, I mean, we leave an hour for it to take an hour. Sometimes it might take 40 minutes, but it's not going to take 10, girlfriend.
So break that down to us. Like, what are things that we need to be considering with a room flip?
If you have to have a room flip, try not to do too much with ceremony decor down the aisle because that has to get removed immediately because the second the guests are out of the room, and hopefully they are leaving the room. I know there are some places where you just curtain it off or just shove them to the back where the bar is. Yeah. That's happened before.
Like, look away. Them don't with look. Food and booze.
Yeah. And that's what we call politely herding cats.
Yeah.
Gentle herding of people like, Grandma, you have to move because the table's going to run you over. Because, catering, it's like choreography. They know exactly what needs to happen immediately. So don't do too much down the aisle decor. If you do that, if you do like a big arch or something for your ceremony, put your sweetheart table or your head table in front of it so that the arch doesn't have to move. And then make sure you have a good crew for catering. Don't try and skimp on the catering crew because you want to make sure that they know exactly what they're doing. And then we're running around making sure centerpieces are going out, candles are getting lit, all your little favors are going down on the tables, all of your table numbers, your everything that's, all the little details. So it does take a lot of choreography. And then, of course, you have to set the tables unless you're doing, even if you're doing a food station, you're setting the tables too. So forks, knives, plates, chargers, napkins, everything has to be.
All the details you forget about. And if someone doesn't have a planner, who is responsible for doing that?
Great question.
Catering management would do the flip itself and throw linens and move chairs and tables. Florist would be putting down if you have a florist. Because a lot of times, if you're not hiring a planner, you may be DIYing your centerpieces. So then who's going to do that?
Yeah.
So florist is putting down. But as far as all your little stuff, like if you have matchbooks, little favors, your napkin fold, everything else is going
menus
to be
stuff.
Going to have to get the bridal party in there.
I will say though, if you do hire a day of coordinator, which you should, even though it usually requires a room flip, having the ceremony in the same place as the reception is great and always worth it. Like the room flip isn't ever bad enough that it's like, oh, I wish we'd done this somewhere else. Like it's a good choice to do a room flip and keep everything in the same venue.
Much easier than shepherding guests and hauling stuff.
I think too, and this is where I messed up, I didn't think about where the guest's going to go. And I hired a last minute planner, but they came so late in the game that there were so many other things for them to focus on, stuff like that it was kind of like, they were focusing on the flip.
So where did they go?
So I had got married at a brewery, Great Lakes Brewing Company.
Cute.
And so it was great. And it was beautiful and everything. luckily, where the location is, there's tons of bars and restaurants around. So people, coffee shops, everything like that. So people kind of dispersed and found a way to pay to drink before they came back to drink for free.
That's good. That's good.
Usually willing to do that once or twice.
Yeah, really.
Right?
But
So your company is called An Event Less Ordinary, and you lean really heavy into uniqueness. And I love that. Check out their website, you guys. A lot of great inspo on there. Their couples look awesome, look so fun. What are some unique things that couples should be considering? Because, we say on here all the time how overwhelming it can be of a process. Like, where do I begin? But if they really do want to be unique, where do they start?
that's a really good question.
Start with looking at your hobbies and looking at what you enjoy doing together and incorporate that into your centerpieces. We've had couples who really love a board game, so that was the centerpieces. Think about your hobbies and your life together, and then that is the landing page where you will find all the unique things that make the two of you.
Yeah. We did one a long time ago where they were both runners. They ran a marathon together the morning of the wedding.
The morning of the wedding.
Why?
Couldn't be me.
Crazy. What if you pulled something?
I know. Like, what if you got anyway? So it was they survived, but the little place cards were like marathon tags. Like they all had little safety pins.
Like the bibs.
Oh, it was really cute, and like I'll never forget that. Because that was unique to them.
And Tyrion and Nate, shout out to them. They were the sweetest people. And they were a COVID wedding. They were supposed to be May of 2020, and then it went to October, and then deep into 2021 is when they finally got married. And they are just big computer nerds, so they did floppy disks as their escort cards.
Yeah,
and like Nate fashioned old computer monitors to like play like kind of what's that 8-bit things during the ceremony, and it was like all incorporated with our flowers and stuff. Oh my gosh.
That's freaking rad.
Yeah. So it's really about like who they are as a couple and finding ways to incorporate that into each element of the wedding, as opposed to just, buying whatever. And then also, some things like table numbers, don't worry about it.
We get really lucky though with I think because of our name and having been around all this time, that we do get sort of the theater nerds and the weirdos and like people who want to do things non-traditionally, and we love that. Like give us a weirdo's wedding any day. So we've seen like, the cake is a hamburger. It just fully looks like a cheeseburger for no reason. It's giant and it's delicious and it looks like a cheeseburger.
It was the biggest cake.
Why? Like I don't know. Yeah. It was just whimsical. It was the whimsy of it. It was just so
whimsical.
Fun. Yeah, like they were theater people too, and like. We've seen couples that they don't want to dance, and so they roller skated together on their first dance. And who's gonna forget that stuff?
Right?
Full costume Halloween weddings.
Yeah,
love those. I know.
A lot of candy.
I've always wanted to go to one.
I know, right?
So if anyone wants to invite me to theirs, I'm happy to go.
We'll go with you.
All about costumes.
We'll crash. And I think one of my favorite moments at a wedding that was unique was this Winnie the Pooh costume that was special to the friend group. Like it had been passed around at each of their weddings. And so one of the brides was like, I need you to help me with something. Okay, we go upstairs. She's got this Winnie the Pooh costume, and she's like, help me get my dress in here. So we had to like shove her dress into the Pooh costume. And then the venue had stairs going down, and she comes to the top of the stairs, and her brand new wife is down at the bottom of the stairs like, oh my God, completely surprised.
Got her.
We got her, and it was just the sweetest, funniest moment, and they did a big dance, and it was hysterical, and like,
that's
oh my gosh.
Fun.
Yeah, that
the
was
sacrificing of the dress for that too.
Right? Well, and that's something you probably should have like practiced ahead of time. But
yeah, I didn't know that was coming.
Right?
Definitely something I would have wanted to know, but it worked out, and they were the sweetest people in the whole world.
So I'm really loving this. Can you share some more inspo from real weddings that you've helped plan? Because this really is truly inspiring. Like, I love the bibs for the runners and really intense with the computers, but that's like so cool.
It was so cool.
She had a black dress too.
Yeah.
It was really
Oh no, it was like black gold. Like it was, what is that shimmery fabric? Like black gold. Like, and teal hair. Lovely.
Simpsons one you did.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Immersive.
We did she was the She works on Chicago Med, and she wanted like a whole bunch of unique things. And one of the things was, I think it was the decor company that did it too. It was really cool. A full Simpsons backdrop, couch, coffee table, like, and it said, instead of the Simpsons, it said their last name in the Simpsons font. Like, it was the cutest thing. And then they also had a full arcade set of games that we brought in. And then like guests enjoyed that all night. It was so fun.
They could take photos at the couch and everything all night.
Photo opportunity.
What another level.
I know,
that's so
like,
cool.
Whole other level. They also did like a huge floral like ceiling installation, which was gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Again, with theater background, what theatrical elements do you love in a wedding?
Oh, we don't do this very often together anymore, but we used to. I always love the moment where we get to open the doors.
Yes.
Like whether they're coming through to go through down the aisle or they're coming out for like coming out of the church to be welcomed by the guests or whatever it is. There's always like a moment where we get to open doors, and we always choreograph it where we go together and we pull them open and there's like a dramatic photo op moment. It always feels like,
and we have to hide
theater
behind the
to me.
door.
Yeah. Like we never participate in the ceremony, obviously. What would we be doing? So we're always backstage sort of or behind or like in the back kind of watching and it feels like stage management. It really feels like standing backstage and watching it go well and like, yay, we got to the kiss. All right, next, like ready to go,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What else?
What about with lighting? Because I feel like it's so important, but it always gets kind of like not forgotten, but kind of brushed over until it's like last minute. It's like, oh, well.
There is that moment on the dance floor when the formal dances are over and the photographer takes their lights down because they can do the rest without the big lights. And then the lights are dimmed on the dance floor and everyone goes crazy.
That's
the
true.
DJ sees it. Everyone sees it. Like, it's just that moment of like, oh, yeah, we're partying.
We're partying.
Now. It's party time.
We're at the high school dance and they just dimmed the lights. Yeah. Let's go.
The poo thing, I'm still thinking about the Winnie the Pooh thing.
Isn't that cute?
Like, how often do people use mascots?
We had a Pikachu one too. She showed up.
She used to work for us, actually. Hi, Sam.
Yeah, she was great. She showed up to their first look with the photographer, like groom is sweating, ready to see his bride for the first time. And she's in a Pikachu costume.
Oh my God.
Laughed really hard. And it was
the sweetest picture. She had, is that a Pokeball?
Something with the Pokemon.
She threw
Did they have like an inside joke with it?
They must.
They just love Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
And she just
another
was
couple
like,
of nerds.
Yeah, another couple of nerds. They also had like Lord of the Rings map programs and
Harry Potter stuff.
Harry Potter, Gryffindor, all kinds of stuff.
A lot of lore at that wedding.
Lore, yeah. God, that was almost 11 years ago. Jeez.
Well, you guys have done over like 500 weddings now at this point, right?
Yeah.
Nearly, yeah.
It's our 17th year starting here.
That's awesome. Congratulations
That's
on that.
wild.
Yeah, I know.
That's
so weird because we're only 26.
I know.
And my body feels fine.
Yeah, it's great. Totally normal.
That's because you don't wear heels anymore.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's why your body feels okay.
Ding, ding.
Now there's orthopedics probably in the sneakers.
Listen, yeah, there are. You're damn right there are.
you wear the same sneakers that the marathon runners.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're running a marathon all day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll do 10 miles if we're at like Bridgeport Art Center or Lacuna. Yeah.
Sounds
easy.
Fun. Mm-hmm.
Is there something in the 17 years you've been in business that you've seen change the most in weddings and something that just never changes?
Changing the most, knowing what we do. When we started this, first of all, people were like, you're not married. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Yeah. You're going to plan weddings? Oh, yeah.
Did
Did no one do that to you? They did it to me.
Okay.
It's like... It's just a production.
It's not a requirement. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we did. I used to spend a lot of time on the phone with people who would be like, so what do you do? Like, why do I need you? This?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you called me. But I would have to explain like what we try to call it event management now because truly, and can we start this here? We need a rebrand on the term day of coordination.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
Rebrand it. It's not one day. It's not 1 week. It's not 1 month. It's got on my high horse about it. It's more work than just that, and it's not something that we don't just appear on the day and magically make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible.
Yeah.
So,
but people now from 16 years ago, 17 years ago know what coordination is at this point, and they know they need us mostly.
Their friends are telling them to hire a coordinator, which is great.
Yeah, they know what a wedding planner is because J-Lo.
It's true.
But yeah, I think you're right. They get the coordination aspect. Now it's more popular to have a coordinator than not. Back in my day, it was, mom and the maid of honor and your aunt just kind of like help throw shit together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. And they've also just gotten more complicated not complicated, but like more structured. As you only have 6 hours in a venue, you want to make sure you get all your things in and everyone has a good time. So,
yeah.
You saying the day of coordinator, that's interesting because we just had our Bridechilla live event at the Elliott.
yeah.
That
looked so cool.
It was so much fun. And we talked about venue coordinator versus wedding planner, like what's the differences and all that. And even with that, Stephanie, who's a venue coordinator, owns the Elliott. She said something similar to you with the whole like day of coordinator like is not actually a thing. Like it's more involved than people realize. Mm-hmm. She didn't say the change of name, but she thinks venue coordinator needs a change of name.
Yeah.
Because people get so confused by that.
They do. And they're not the same.
And she's like, I still can't figure out what to say because like we tried saying like not staff management, but something like along those lines. So that just
venue
didn't sound
manager,
right.
Venue.
Yeah, it's like where do you go from there? Because there's like confusion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the coordinator, because you have wedding coordinator, which is under a lot of planners packages, and then you have venue coordinator, and they're strictly for the venue. I mean, they'll help you, but like they're venue first, right? Whereas planners are the couple first.
And then sometimes it's just that you're the coordinator. You're only supposed to be there on site, and then people will call you the planner and like something will be a little wonky. And it's like, well, I didn't do that. I didn't step in
hire that vendor. Sorry.
I didn't step in until a couple weeks ago. So yeah, there's always this weird line and terminology people don't quite understand.
Yeah.
And no one's planned a wedding until they're suddenly planning a wedding. So
right.
It's new information.
This business is very nebulous.
Well, I have one more PSA while we're here.
Yes, please bring it.
Because you asked me something, or you asked us something that has not changed. And here's something that has not changed. The minute people get engaged, they don't know when they're getting married or where. Can we leave them alone? Do you know? Can we leave them alone? Like the minute people because I talk to newly engaged people 3 times a day. Okay. The minute they get engaged, everyone's like, when, where am I invited? Like they don't know. Leave them alone.
Oh, and quit expecting to be invited.
Truly.
Quit expecting to be invited.
Drives me nuts.
Okay, can I give a PSA?
Crazy. Yes, please. Let's give all these hot takes. Everyone needs to know all this.
PSA. The only people invited to the wedding are the ones on the invitation. That's it. Your kids are not invited if they're not on the invitation. Your partner is not invited if they're not on the invitation.
Preach.
That's it. Listen, I love that we're moving away from a lot of weird etiquette stuff. That is not one of them.
Yes.
I just had a client text me like, what do I say?
No.
To this person who said that we're so excited. And I was like, tell them to look at the envelope.
Oh. It's awkward.
But people say that and they're not getting an invitation. They just assume it. And and people also assume that they're going to be in the wedding party. It's like, what if I don't even want a fucking wedding party?
Stop asking questions. Just say the ring is gorgeous and move on.
Congratulations.
Leave them alone.
You'll get information when the couple is ready.
Yeah, it's too stressful. It sets them up for so much stress, truly. Like people come in already stressed. We don't know what to do. We're struggling to find a venue. Everybody's freaking out and asking us too many questions. Like, let people be engaged for like 3 months before you ask them anything. That's all.
That is excellent advice, Amy.
Thank you.
You should do this for a living.
I would think so also, but
it's the same thing for when people get pregnant. Like
yes.
I've never experienced that personally, but all my friends and like my brother and sister, like I've seen all of it with them where the second they finally, get to enjoy this, like, okay, we're officially pregnant, we can announce it. Everyone's like, what are you having? What are you naming it? And then the second they give birth to the kid, it's like, when are you having the next one? It's like, well, I just had this one. Can I like enjoy it for like a hot minute?
God.
Yeah. So similar rage.
That's something. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Similar family bullshit too.
And much like pregnant women, engaged people don't need that kind of stress. Okay.
Right. Let them bask in it. I love that you guys said this. Any more? Bring it. Here, let's air the PSA grievances because this is giving me life. Like, I want to inject this conversation in my brain, in my veins. Like, couples need to know this stuff.
Your rehearsal dinner does not need to have 50 people at it. It just doesn't. You don't have to invite everybody that's from out of town. That's bullshit. I'm so sorry. Especially here, like in a place like Chicago, for a lot of people, it's a destination. Maybe they're used to live here or their mom lives here or whatever, but everybody's flying in. Everybody's an out-of-town guest. So if you start to invite every out-of-town guest, I don't know where this came from, you're throwing a second wedding. You're going to have 130 people at your wedding and 75 at the rehearsal dinner. That's crazy. Do not do that.
Would you also say you don't have to invite plus ones for wedding party members also? Because that's also a pressure that people put on themselves.
No, the people who are in the ceremony actively and your immediate family. That's it. That is it.
I agree.
You know, like it's a small dinner to thank your inner circle. And it's become this social thing that's like expectations of people being invited. And, we have to invite these 3 families because they came in from out of town. Like you can schedule a lunch with them if you want or something else, but that's not rehearsal dinner. Yeah.
Brunch the day after, meet us in the hotel lobby or whatever.
It gets to be too much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually with that, because now, the brunches post-wedding is really popular. And then on top of the rehearsal, a lot of people are also feeling pressure to throw welcome parties.
Now you have 4 events that are all
so
giant.
Expensive.
Yeah,
at
and then
the
you're
end.
complaining about how much it costs.
And then you've budgeted for the wedding.
Yeah.
But then you've got a rehearsal dinner that's costing you $30,000 all of a sudden. Don't do that. Guys, don't do that.
It's these same kind of things where there's societal pressure that people think that it exists. And like a lot of it comes from, but boomer parents who are like, well, this is how we do things. And I just like to see couples not do things that way and just, have only the people that are important to them. And sure, invite 200 people, spend all that money on the wedding, but don't create 3, 4, 5 extra expensive events on top of it just because you feel like you have to.
And guests don't expect that either.
Yeah.
They really don't. They don't expect to be entertained every second.
That's true.
This is when. This is
need a sign.
This is something that people forget. The people you're inviting to your wedding are human adults. They've traveled before. They're gonna be fine. You give them as much direction as needed and guidance to the venue and prepare transportation for them, great. But you do not have to hold their hand the whole wedding. You can have a little section on your website saying, hey, the Cubs play Sunday. The lakefront's open. It's summer. Go there. Or like air and water show is happening. Don't have your wedding on the air and water show weekend.
Don't do that.
Yeah, we've said something similar before. Like, check out major events around the time.
Yeah,
there could be a marathon. that's going to block all the traffic.
But you just remember, you don't have to hold their hands the whole wedding weekend because that's too much stress on you too to worry about every individual's guest experience the whole weekend. Worry about the day. That's it.
And it might stress them out too, the guests, because that's a whole other outfit they have to consider. And maybe they're like you mentioned, maybe they used to live there and they are coming back. Maybe they want to see other family members and friends while they happen to be in town that weekend, or
go to their old bar and have a drink,
Human adults.
So we're giving you permission.
Human adults.
We're giving you permission to just worry about the wedding. And you can keep the rehearsal as short, sweet, and chill as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please.
Can we just do all PSAs all episode? Because
we could.
Imagine a wedding day where each detail is already taken care of, allowing you to savor every moment. At Sandals, your dream wedding can finally become a reality. From intimate elopements to grand celebrations, Sandals offers customizable packages for every size and style. Plus, everything is included: your accommodations, gourmet dining, premium drinks, and all your wedding services. You get a dedicated wedding planner and an on-site team to manage everything from ceremony to reception. And here's a really sweet deal. Stay 7 nights or longer in a club or butler-level room, and you'll receive their Sweetheart Wedding Package, completely on them. That means your ceremony, decor, and even a delicious 2-tier wedding cake. For those of you who really want to be sure, you can even test drive your wedding experience before you book it. Stop dreaming and start planning. Head over to sandals.com today or call 1-877-SANDALS to create your unforgettable wedding experience. Are there any other major ones that are coming top of mind since we're fired up?
PSA, do not hire someone and then not listen to their expertise.
Mm.
You got to listen.
Do you see that more from couples or more from like parents meddling in?
Oh, what a good question. What a great question. And you know the
I know
answer.
how moms can be.
Yeah.
You know the answer.
Yeah.
It's moms. But sometimes it is the couple.
But the couple probably, yeah.
I do have examples.
We have so many examples. It goes both ways because I do the pre-planning and she does the on-site. And so we both deal with it in different ways. I think you deal with it more than I do because I'm on more of a slow pace with them. And I've kind of sort of tried to train them to like go one vendor at a time and like listen to the instructions. And then when they go off the rails, I'm like, you didn't listen. But when Carolyn's with them on site, she needs them to be following instructions, following the timeline. You guys, we all made this timeline together, right? Like, let's get on board.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do they do?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but
Thankfully.
But when it does, I'll just give you an example. There was a couple where I was like, if you do X, Y, Z, if you do that, and I'm not going to give away too much information, but if you do X, Y, Z, you are going to have 45 minutes of dancing. No, it'll be quick. And I'm like, listen to me. No, it won't. Because then you want to go upstairs and change for your rehearsal. You want to do this X. And I said, I promise you're going to get 45 minutes of dancing and that's it.
And you paid your DJ for 3 hours and people like to dance at
Did
weddings.
they want to do some kind of like TikTok trend or something?
It wasn't that. It was, if I say it will, it'll identify
We'll know who it is.
But it was just like a few events that they wanted to do, like extra things. And they were already doing extra things. And anyway, the day of came, they got 45 minutes of dancing. I finally finished cleaning and packing the cars. And I go up to the groom and I say, okay, bye. I'm out. Congratulations. Gives me a hug and he says, we really didn't get that much dancing time. And I was like, goodbye forever.
So sorry, bye.
So hard. And honestly, I should get a medal for not saying I told you so right to his face in that moment because, oh my goodness. Babe, I told you.
I think people forget. People get so excited about planning their wedding and it's the one day and all their people are going to be there and they're like, we have to do this and we have to do this and it's going to be so fun. But then it's really only a few hours. And you're
moving
fast. It does. And once you move from cocktail hour to dinner, if you have too many activities, I had one recently, there's just too much going on. And some people were like, I didn't even know there was a photo booth. Yeah, because you were distracted by the 6 other activities that were presented to you. When really people are there to eat, say hi to you, dance.
Yeah.
Maybe get drunk. But like, don't overdo it, I would say, with like the extra activities on the day of too. So it does.
There's times when it's cute. Like a photo booth is great. There's times when it's cute to have like if you've got another room or something, throw some board games in there or whatever. But you do not have to entertain your guests every second of the wedding because the wedding is the entertainment.
Yes.
You get married, you go have a cocktail, you go in, you sit for dinner.
Right.
And you have a couple of toasts, 2 toasts.
5 minutes.
2 to 3 toasts. And then you dance. Yeah. And it goes so quickly. And people are going, they're going to the bathrooms. They're going outside to have a cigarette. Sorry, world, but it still happens. And like, you don't need to entertain them every second of your wedding because that's what the entertainment is, the dancing.
Yeah, you're spending all that money on a band or a DJ or whatever. Yeah. And like you said, it became 45 minutes because they want to do all this performative shit. And it's like,
that's on you.
For who at the end of the day?
Right.
For whomsta.
Right, because later on, people say to our couples now, like after the wedding, they say like, oh, we had such a blast dancing at your wedding. Or the food was so good and we had such a blast dancing with you. And they don't, it's never like, oh, that random photo booth guy was real fun or whatever. I don't know. It's just like, this is what weddings are, food and drinking. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that because that kind of goes back to what I asked earlier with, all your years now with the business. What's the one thing that hasn't really changed? And something you hear from most professionals in the business is that, well, not even just professionals, just people that go to weddings, right? Is the thing that people remember the most. And think about yourself. If you're listening to this, what do you remember most from a wedding you've been to? Probably if the food was good or not, if the music sucked or not. And if the couple like looked happy and low, like whatever, maybe, but like
maybe if there was an incident,
was a dress great and unique, you know, an incident like grandma fell on her ass doing the, you know, atomic dog, but you never know.
Like
so like those are the things that you remember, but like
it's all so quick, and so like it's nobody
not
expects
about
anything.
Yeah, it's not about like it's about the feeling that they walk away with, not about the actual event itself. As long as if it's planned well and the food is good and things don't go awry, they're going to have a great time.
And we're not saying don't do anything. We're theater people.
Of course not.
Do things. But just what would you say would be like the limit of having some kind of wow factor or interactive thing?
You got a photo booth. You don't need anything else. You got a performance that's coming in. Like we had the circus come in once. That was amazing. That's all they needed because then they had a couple hours of dancing and everybody went home. You know, like I think just one extra thing is plenty. 2 max.
Yeah, like there was one wedding that went really, really well. It just had like your basic catering, DJ, whatever. But then they had a tattoo artist that came in for like 2.5 hours and did little tiny tattoos on the guests if they wanted to. And that was it. That was the only extra little thing. And like,
that's
memorable, you know?
Yeah.
Different. Yeah.
I love it.
I totally would have gotten one.
I know. I was jealous.
That's probably like one of those moments where you wish you could have done to remember the fun wedding, but at the same time, like you're a vendor, like you're the professional, you can't
really do that.
Yeah.
Then you're like you're tattoo blocking a guest.
Tattoo blocking.
Anything couples should know, though, when it comes to incorporating live performances in their wedding, especially when it comes to logistics. I'm all about logistics.
You got to build in the time. You can't just be like, oh, it's a quick 5-minute performance. No. They're going to show up. They're going to need a place to change and to be and to have waters. And they're probably going to want a meal or a snack or something to be fed with.
They need a place to put their stuff and change sometimes.
Yes,
like
they absolutely need that. That's like I had when the whole circus came in, they were amazing. And they had a whole room because we thought about it beforehand. And because we have performance backgrounds, we know like there is extra stuff. It's not just like someone's coming in throwing on a pair of tap shoes and coming out to the dance floor, you know? And then sometimes a Frank Sinatra impersonator shows up and forgets all the lyrics and there's really nothing you can do about that.
No, we just giggle in the background and take video when we can, you know?
Do you think a lot of people, though, maybe you've experienced this with your couples, but like they want like the Frank Sinatra impersonator and they think like, oh, well, I'm hiring him. He's just going to show up at this time we tell him, just go out there, do his thing and leave. And it's like.
So you know what? This is actually a really good example, the Frank Sinatra guy. So I get to the wedding and Uncle calls me, or no, it was the rehearsal the night before. And Uncle calls me and he's like, I couldn't be there. I have COVID, sad. But I got a Frank Sinatra impersonator. He's going to be there at X time. And like my heart stops.
Because a random guest.
Because like you just, the day before you're telling me this and now I have to build in the time.
Hired a vendor.
And okay, all right. So I get the information. Frank shows up. He's 107. And he comes up to me and he says, here's my music and it needs to be this. And I was like, well, you don't like have it or a link or anything? And he's like, no, it's this YouTube thing.
No, not YouTube.
Oh, no. So I go to the DJ and I'm like, buddy, I don't know what to do. And he's like, well, I can pull it off of YouTube, but I'm going to have to rip it off. And so we had to wait for the Wi-Fi password because we didn't have that yet, which is kind of my fault. But what do I need the Wi-Fi for? So then Frank is waiting in the wings for his big moment. And the DJ is ripping off of YouTube his karaoke track because God forbid he like send a link beforehand to have a Spotify playlist or something. No. He's 107. He doesn't know about any of those things. So he comes out finally. The DJ starts playing his song and he's like, I'm just going to loop it until he's ready to sing. And I was like, all right.
I'm so stressed.
So Frank comes out and and the bride is delighted and he's ready to sing and the DJ loops it and he gets up and he starts the song and then he stops for some reason. So the DJ just kind of keeps looping until he's like, and he's just kind of standing up there bopping back and forth, not singing. No. And the bride, who is an opera singer and a performer, is just like, what's happening? And I was like, your uncle. I don't know. He finally sings his little ditty. He did sound like Frank. It was very cute. And then he left, and it was just, it's a very funny memory for the couple now. But oh my God, in the moment, it was just like, oh my God.
But how much did it fuck up the timeline?
Yeah.
It didn't fuck up the timeline too badly because we did it like during dinner while people were eating anyway.
Okay.
And so we kind of threw it in. So it was fine. And I knew the day before, which was helpful. He didn't just show up, you know, and be like, hey, I'm 107-year-old Frank Sinatra here to sing.
By the way.
I love that you brought up that you had it during dinner as a way to entertain the guests and kind of probably smooth out that last minute change in the timeline. Are there any other pointers like that for couples to consider when they should be having live entertainment throughout their... Because like we had Sean, the balloon art guy on the show before. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but it's very strategic on when I need to do this because I don't want to ruin things for the DJ and, you know, stuff like that. So is there any advice there that couples, when they're planning out their timelines and looking to hire people, how they should kind of go about it so they don't cause too many distractions or anything?
Yeah. Ask the person who they're hiring when they would recommend doing it because they'll know best when the best time is. We had a magician this summer come during cocktail hours. So she was just walking around during cocktails doing close-up magic. It was very
It's a good little bonus, though.
Right? Yeah.
Love that.
So yeah, I would say ask the professional because they'll know best how long their thing takes, what they need, and if you hire a coordinator, they'll figure that stuff out for you too.
Yeah.
Hire a coordinator. Also.
Yeah, I know everyone, we talk about this again. People are probably like, I'm so tired of hearing me say this. I get it's not always considered part of the budget. I know how it can be expensive, you know, for some people. But I feel like at the end of the day, hiring a wedding coordinator, a planner, like you actually save money, you save your sanity, you save time.
Relationships
They're
with
going to
other
review
people.
you guys review all the contracts for the couples. You make sure they're not getting screwed over in certain things.
Yeah.
You can keep that timeline right on cue to where, you know, it's not a shit show the day of with people running around. Like the amount of money you actually save by hiring one, it's truly, you guys are worth the upfront cost any day of the week.
Thank you.
Much love.
Yeah.
We do a lot too of buffering with mom and parents. Like, maybe we don't even help that much except to like make sure the bride and the mom don't fight the whole time. Great. Totally worth it, you know?
The peace of mind, I think, is absolutely worth it.
Peace of mind, yeah. Knowing that somebody else is managing it so you don't have to.
And time is money.
Time is money.
Amen.
So trends. You know, we were just talking a few episodes ago with the 2026 trends with Megan Ely of OFD Consulting, her and Terica's wedding report. Lots of cool things that are on the horizon for this year. What are some trends that you're loving right now? Or are you like, fuck all trends, I hate it all?
Fuck all trends, Leah.
You had that giggle right away.
You
like,
got us on our high horse today.
I know, I love it.
Listen, trends are fine. If you want to do a trend, fine. Don't stress yourself out over it. And also, like, I just don't. Your wedding is going to look dated in a year.
No matter what.
It does not matter. The trends or whatever. I just did a wedding and they did.
Yeah. The candelabras.
The candelabras with the fake gemstones.
They came back.
You know? It was like 2016. Those were huge. Big deal.
I didn't think that was back again.
Yeah, well, there they are. Like, if you want to do mason jars again, fine. We'll get out the burlap again. I don't care. Trends are dumb. They're capitalism's way of telling you what to do. Screw trends.
What about the people that are like, I want a timeless wedding?
Okay,
good luck.
Black and white, roses. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
your dress is still not going to be, unless you have it look like 1950s, but then it's still not in the 1950s.
That's the 1950s.
So it's still at the 1950s. Like,
look, just be true to who you are. If you want a neon sign, have a neon sign. Like, if you want to do whatever color trend, do a color trend. Do whatever. It doesn't matter. It's your wedding day. Be true to who you are. Don't listen to other people about what trends you should be incorporating into your wedding. Some of them are like helpful stuff, of course, like I don't know, stuff about guests lists and escort cards and, you know, that kind of logistical trend. Fine.
Or like looks and vibes that you never would have considered, like having uplighting or having like fabric or something.
Consider uplighting because your DJ is going to tell
that.
you to.
I would say going back to, I think earlier in this episode, you asked us about how, people make things unique and how to make your personality shine in your wedding. And I would say don't do the trend if it's not you.
Yeah.
If the trend happens to be something that you think is cool and like represents you and your family will remember, like, oh, she loved Taylor Swift and we did a whole Taylor Swift wedding. Okay, whatever. Like, be a nerd about it. Be the weirdo that you are and the weirdo that you're marrying, and bring your own trends into your wedding so that people remember it. We're all just people.
Yeah, be cringe. Please be cringe. Bring back cringe. Be as cringe as possible. It's your wedding day.
We'd rather that than trendy stuff.
Yeah.
As a nerd, I love this.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not offending anyone. I really do. But like, it's just,
I mean, let's be real. We're all going to piss somebody off at some point. No one makes anyone all happy.
Right.
That's true.
We can't all be Dolly Parton.
Exactly.
Oh,
the only person I think no one doesn't like, and that's why they shouldn't. Dolly is the best.
She is.
She is.
So let's go to Chicago.
Okay. Come visit.
Yeah. When are you coming up for a drink?
Well, I want to come to Chicago for a drink with y'all. I haven't been to Chicago in a couple of years since Bridal Market, and I need to get back there. Why should people, though, go to Chicago for a destination wedding and go check it out? Because I'm sure there are people listening that never have had the pleasure and experience of being there.
Yeah.
In my very unbiased point of view, it is the best city in the world.
It's the best.
I mean, come in here spring, summer, fall. You have the lakefront. You have all manner of sports games. You have all manner of theater to go to. And not just the Broadway and Chicago stuff. There is storefront theater all over this city that is unbelievable. It's how we met. And like, there's just so much to do here. The food is incredible. Malort is disgusting. You don't have to try it. Don't listen.
Having weddings here, though, like when people do come here a lot from other places. That's been kind of our thing over the last decade and a half.
Yeah.
It's people that live other places and want to get married here. And we love that because we like to bring the Chicago vibes. But
we do.
I always love just like a rooftop skyline view. We got a lot of venues here that really offer a great view. And there's a vibe here, a lot of the venues too, like the exposed brick and like the breweries and the art on the walls, graffiti, stuff like that. Like there's just a vibe here. It's different.
It's artistic. It's eclectic. It's energetic. It's just the best city. And there's so much for your guests to entertain themselves with when they're here too, which is always a plus. Our first wedding, I just remembered, the first wedding that we ever fully planned, not just day of coordination, the bride lived in Seoul, right? And the groom was in New York. So we planned for their wedding here. It was great. That worked out great.
It did.
That was fun.
As a Midwestern girl based in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm glad that you said, come spring, summer, fall, and totally skipped over winter.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about right now.
Yeah. 18 degrees and snow. Unless it's your jam.
I got married in the middle of December, and it was 40 degrees and lovely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
So lucky.
Nice. Yeah. I was very lucky.
It's not always easy to come by.
No.
In this part of the United States.
No.
This time of
and it
year.
was right after that winter of 2013 where it was the polar vortex and we got snow every day until March.
Oh my God.
Love it.
What are some advantages that couples have with having a wedding in Chicago? Would you say it has to be all the amenities that you offer, like all the opportunities to go to shows and food and drink, et cetera, sports?
Choice.
Variety of choice in vendors. Yeah. There are so many venues. There are so many photographers. There are so many caterers. Like we have people come to us and say, we want to get married in 6 months. Can we do that? Is it too late? And we're like, no. They're, as long as you're willing to be flexible and open to different options, you'll have them,
Yeah.
we're not running out.
Right. Yeah.
So that's nice.
Lots of choices, lots of venues,
a lot of choices at a lot of different price points.
That too.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Not just Chicago, but just in general for couples. What is your key piece of advice when it comes to looking for their venue?
Guest count for me. Like you have to have a guest count first. You cannot go shopping for a venue if you have no idea how many people. So the first thing you should do after you get engaged is ask your parents how many of their weird friends they're inviting.
Or how many they're going to make you invite.
Right.
No, also I would say the flexibility of the venue, because that's a wide-ranging situation there.
That's true.
Some of them will be like, it's $5,000. You can be here all day. You can bring in whoever you want. Godspeed. We love you. And then others that are like, you will hire this caterer and this florist, and your booze will cost this much because it's through this special company, and you can only be here starting at 5 p.m. And, there's no standardization in terms of the rules for venues or catering or day of coordination, really. So it's kind of the Wild West.
Get those contracts and read them thoroughly.
Yeah.
Read your contracts.
Read your contracts thoroughly.
Hire a planner.
Pour a glass of wine or a cup of coffee and read them. I know it sucks, but it sucks more to get screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good friend who's a photographer here, and in her contract, like way at the bottom, she has something funny about like being abducted by aliens or something, so that she can test people to see if they read the entire contract, because most of them will, because it's funny, people will mention it like, oh, if you get abducted by aliens, then someone else will whatever, but then she knows that they read through the whole damn contract,
That's what I think vendors should be doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out Ingrid Bond. She's the best.
She is the best.
Awesome.
We need to put in an alien clause.
We must. Been missing that.
Yeah.
So it's time for the Fuck It Bucket.
Ooh.
What is in your wedding Fuck It Bucket?
Did we already do it?
In our ranting.
I mean, it's like PSAs kind of. But you know what I mean? Like garter toss, cake cuttings, matching dresses. What is in your Fuck It Bucket?
Truly the garter toss. Stop it.
Yeah.
Don't it. The tradition of it, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go look it up. It's gross. Don't do it. And your uncle's there. Like, what are you doing?
Stop digging around up there.
Yeah. Don't like it.
It's not appropriate. Honestly,
I think
we don't
we've
see
done
those anymore.
I think we've done maybe 3.
I think we have single-handedly phased them out, actually, because we've been doing things like this over 17
you told the couples,
years. We're like, don't do garter tosses. They're gross.
You have it in your contract.
Yeah, no garter toss.
We have a no garter toss clause.
Exactly.
That should be in the contract.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen or done a garter toss in a decade. Truly.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's finally dead. That's my number one Fuck It Bucket, too.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one. It's, I don't know, perhaps controversial, but late night snacks 90 minutes after dinner. Why?
Oh.
What? Why?
Drinking.
Why? They're still full. There's going to be 7 pizzas left.
That's true. You do too much with late night
You're
snacks.
doing too much with the late night snacks.
Bring some out for people who did not.
Maybe a little taco. Maybe a little a salty snack.
A Portillo's.
Not a whole big Lou Malnati's deep dish pizza.
You definitely don't need deep dish. That is hard.
Like the fries. I think the fries are a good one.
Fries are great.
Those were a hit at my friend's wedding earlier this year in the spring.
Yeah.
Like
we don't need a full meal
and
then another full meal. That's
right.
Not necessary.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Anything else?
I like late night snacks.
I'm sure
because I get one.
Well, because sometimes you don't get to eat your regular food, so then you're like,
or it's not enough.
There'll be food later, Do you remember when? So for a long time we were doing weddings together, which was a whole time.
Adorable.
It was a time in our lives, and we were both vegetarian.
Oh yeah,
another story. And so we'd have to put in our contract, like not only do you have to feed us, but you have to give us vegetarian meals. And once in a while, it's like they don't know what to give us. Like literally all we want is like a bowl of pasta.
The pasta.
Like, please give me just a tureen of pasta. There was one time where they gave us a mushroom sandwich with like a big ass, like the size of my face mushroom, cold, with cold veggies sliced, and then a mushroom sandwich, because I'm a vegetarian and a wedding vendor, and that's my lot in life, apparently.
I like the veggie stack.
Why?
Where you get like a stack of like peppers and a cucumber.
Give me a carb. Give me the late night snack.
Truly.
You need the carb to keep going.
Honestly, all I want is a bowl of pasta now, and I eat meat again. Like, just give me carbs.
Yeah.
I love it. Last question. What is your all-time favorite celebrity or royal wedding?
Can we punt it to Taylor and Travis's, which hasn't happened yet?
Yes.
Because it will be. That will be our favorite. And we will
People are saying like it's our Princess Diana moment. It's like our queen. Yeah.
Our mother is getting married.
No, not mother. Stop.
That's the only wedding we care about.
I love it so much.
We don't do royal weddings, so that is our royal
I think
wedding.
your audience probably can guess on my rant on trends, how I feel about celebrity cultures.
Yeah.
There's been some cool things that have come about from celebrity weddings, though.
Yeah,
like the
totally.
dip dye from Gwen Stefani's first go around.
Okay. Good point.
I do
Things like
remember
that.
Jen and Brad's wedding. That was a whole moment. Remember?
It's a moment.
Yeah.
You're aging us now.
I know. No, we're 26.
I love that so much. Okay, we could talk all day, and I want to have you guys back on to share more stories. We
Okay,
can just do
great.
a whole tea episode. But how can we get more information on? Yes.
Oh gosh.
I told you, like, inject this conversation in my veins. I want all these hot takes and all these true stories. I also want the hamburger cake. So whoever did that,
We'll
like,
send you a
brilliant.
picture.
Yeah, we'll send you the picture.
Please, yeah. We'll post up on Instagram. How can we get more information on you in an event less ordinary?
Follow us at AELO Chicago on Instagram. That is where we're posting like up-to-date stuff. And then an eventlessordinary.com.
Thanks for being here. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll have Dustin Lemick, the CEO and founder of BriteCo, sponsor of this podcast. Dustin Lemick, welcome back to Bridechilla.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. So if anyone has missed the previous episodes we've had with you, and we just covered jewelry insurance on our pet episode more recently, but today the focus is on wedding insurance and why it's so important and what BriteCo has to offer. So to kind of get us started here, Dustin, let's talk about what wedding insurance actually is and how that differs from our normal home and car insurance.
Yeah, a lot of folks don't know about wedding insurance, and there's just like a lack of knowledge that it even exists. And so that was one of the reasons like that we were really interested in offering this line of business, is because it's super valuable and it's like relatively unknown. And so what it is you can kind of think of it as two different parts. There's wedding liability insurance, and then there's wedding cancellation insurance. Wedding liability is basically for like slip and falls or something breaks at the venue. Wedding cancellation is kind of like it sounds like, is if the wedding needs to be canceled or if there's vendor no-shows. And I can go into more specifics about it, but it's really wedding liability and wedding cancellation insurance.
The liability, when you were saying someone gets injured, my first thought was like, your aunt's on the dance floor thinking she's going to be doing these like hip hop moves and breaks a hip. That gets covered.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, and there's injuries. There's all these injuries that potentially could happen. A lot of times, though, we see a piece of art like falls off the wall, or like something is damaged at the venue, and all of a sudden they're coming back to you as like the wedding couple and saying, hey, one of your guests like broke a vase. You owe the money for it. And like, you don't want to get a bill like that after your wedding.
No, it's funny you say that because it makes me think of, there's a great venue here in Cleveland called the Elliott, and we've done a live event there and everything. And they have this gorgeous chandelier in the main old church space. And they had a wedding, and it was actually a dry wedding. This wasn't even like a drunk incident, but they were doing t-shirt toss in there at the reception, just like you're at a ball game. And the t-shirt balled up, hit the chandelier, and broke a bunch of pieces from it. That is something that if you have BriteCo insurance, it will help cover your butt, because that is not cheap.
That is exactly the type of incident. And it's, since we've been offering this product, like we've seen so many different things happen. Like we had an example where one of the bridesmaids was sitting on a sink pedestal, like doing her makeup, like no harm, no, like wasn't intoxicated, nothing. And the sink pedestal broke. And all of a sudden, like water started, and it's like, now it wasn't super bad. There was a little flooding. There was a little bit of damage. The sink broke, like whatever. It could have been really bad though, if like it started to really flood out, which it didn't. And right when we got the claim in, I was starting to think, oh my God, did the venue like flood? Which, there's just crazy things that could potentially happen. And actually the coverage itself, so it's pretty broad coverage, and it's reasonably priced too. So it's like, it's good to purchase this type of insurance for your wedding.
Yeah, we're going to get into how good of a deal this is in a second, but you saying the water damage, because I think that's more common than people realize. You see these things on the different Instagram and TikTok and even People magazine, where the bride or the photographer was hanging up the bride's dress on the fire, like thing that goes off, like the sprinkler system, and all of a sudden everything goes off and everything gets water damage, right? This kind of insurance, would it cover if your gown, your tux, you lose photography, the camera equipment? Are all those kind of things covered, or does it get broken down separately?
It gets broken down separately. So like you can think of it like the liability insurance is really for slip and fall type things, like injuries that happen at the event, or property damage, like we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The cancellation, though, one thing that's really, so cancellation insurance covers if you need to postpone or cancel the wedding for things like illness, right? Which is really common. Like somebody gets sick. Like there was a huge spotlight on this when COVID was happening because
Right.
this stuff was not covered during COVID. And we came in after that, like we introduced our product to the market. So we would cover things like illness. We also like weather. Like weather is another really big one. If you need to cancel your wedding because there was some severe weather event, in Florida, right? Or like California, like this is really important to have this because, they have a lot of weather events.
An act of God isn't counted in every contract anymore because COVID changed that too.
Exactly right. But also to the point you were getting to before with like the tux and all that stuff, a big part of this too, which this is people don't really realize, is it will cover vendor no-shows or issues with vendors. So, for example, like we've had issues where a vendor literally doesn't show up. So like a florist, for instance, goes dark. Like you can't get in contact with your florist a week before the wedding. And so what do, right? Like we would step in financially and help find a new florist and cover expenses associated with that.
That's huge. And I think everyone has the hope that you're going to hire these different vendors and it's going to go off so smoothly. But unfortunately, things do happen. And kind of with that, a lot of venues now require liability insurance. Why do you think that is? And what other things are included when it comes to your venue with this kind of insurance?
So the reason that venues are starting, and you're right, more and more venues are starting to require this. They see that there could be a lot of issues that happen, some of which we've already discussed. And it puts the venue in a really bad spot because they really want to take care of the couple and the wedding part. Like they want everything to go as smoothly as possible. Everyone's aligned in that category. We want things to go smoothly. But when things don't go smoothly, like what happens? The venue doesn't want to be in this like confrontational position with the folks getting married. And so one way that they can sort of remove the friction is by having this insurance in place. So then it's like, okay, we don't have to argue about like the insurance company will step in to help with expenses, and it like just makes everybody's life much easier. And so it just makes those things like not so difficult to have those conversations. And also it does protect them as well. So like in the instance that the chandelier breaks that you use,
right,
they're going to have to chase after the couple to try to get, or they're going to send them a bill for 10 grand, whatever it might be. It's way easier for them to say, oh, there's insurance in place. The insurance company will pay for it and everybody's made whole. That's what the insurance exists. So, yeah, it's really important. And I think venues are really starting to understand how important it is.
Because I know years ago, the only time I really would see that with vendors would be if it was art museums, botanical gardens, things that had really high priced items or rare objects, stuff like that. But now you're just seeing it with your hotel ballrooms, with your DIY spaces, because there are so many things involved, to your point. But on your end of things as the couple, it also protects you if, correct me if I'm wrong, if the venue goes bankrupt or just immediately shuts down for no reason given, which happened to my best friend. I think we talked about that a couple episodes ago when you and I were talking, like just months beforehand, like, oh, we're closing. Sorry, you gave us all this money. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, cancellation insurance, wedding cancellation insurance will cover that. If it goes if your venue goes bankrupt, if your venue closes down, whatever that might be, which literally does happen. We've heard a lot of stories where they have shut down and gone bankrupt. And then you're out. Like you are out potentially a lot of money. think about that. I mean, like if you lose your venue and you cannot get back any of the money or deposits that you paid there, I mean, that's a huge financial hit. And for a couple $100, which is a small line item in the grand picture, to have some peace of mind there, it's like pretty worth it, in my opinion. Something else I should note that a lot of people don't realize is it doesn't just cover like the party or the reception. It covers the rehearsal dinner. It covers the post-wedding brunch, and then it covers the ceremony and the reception. So it's really like 5 days of coverage for 4 different events. And a lot of folks don't realize that it's really very broad coverage.
No, and I thought I knew everything to know about what BriteCo offers, and this is a surprise to me. And actually, my next question, this is actually perfect, was going to be, what would we be surprised is covered?
The other thing, too, is we offer change of heart coverage, which I believe we're the only ones that offer this. It's pretty exclusive to BriteCo.
So.
Yeah, I have not heard of any other insurance company offering change of heart, but it's one of those things that you sort of don't really want to think about when you're actively engaged, but it's something that we recommend buying because you just don't know what happens. And there's so much money associated with this that, like, if there was a change of heart, then at least you have coverage, that will protect both folks from really financial hardship. I mean, if you're talking tens of thousands of dollars or more, and all of a sudden you're not going to go through it. I mean, the money part is actually a big part of the conversation. I'm pretty sure some people who really don't want to go through with a wedding at the end of the day end up going through with it, and it becomes worse down the road. And part of the reason is this financial pressure and this pressure of like, we put all this money down already, we have to go through with it.
Or you just want to postpone because you want to raise more money to have a bigger wedding or do something else. Like there's so many different factors. A job loss,
Military deployment. We've seen that sometimes.
Military deployment. Yeah. To your point about the change of heart, I have brought up my friend at some point on the show before. This is almost 20 years ago now. She had been engaged twice, and both times she had to call off the wedding well into planning. She's the one that put the deposits down on everything and lost almost all that money both times. Both times she was being cheated on. That's why she called off the wedding. Third time was a charm, though. She did meet the love of her life. They got married, had the big baller wedding. It was beautiful. I was glad to be in attendance. But for cases like that, her first 2 engagements, if there would have been a company like you that she could have relied on, it probably would have saved her. I know it would have saved her so much money. And this is why we really need to stress the importance of this investment, because you're investing in your future with this.
I think that's a good way to put it. It's like protecting an investment, right? Like if you're going to invest a whole lot of money into something, it would be a really smart thing to protect that investment from things that could go wrong. There's a lot of other areas where you have an investment and you have insurance, whether it's a home investment, right? Like you have a huge investment in your house and like you get insurance, home insurance to protect that investment, to protect the roof, to protect the basement from a flood or whatever.
Yeah.
This is not that much different. Like your wedding is truly an investment.
And when you were previously on our discussion on jewelry insurance, which go back to our pet episode and check that out, you mentioned just that, right? How your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover your jewelry and it definitely doesn't cover your wedding the same way this would.
It's bespoke. I mean, the protection and the coverage is for our jewelry product is literally tailor-made for jewelry. For our wedding product, it's tailor-made for a wedding. So and I would be actually singing a different tune if this was thousands of dollars in terms of cost to buy this insurance. But you're talking like $120, $140 in that ballpark for liability, and you're talking a couple $100 for the cancellation. It's like, in the grand scheme of things, it is super well worth it.
The last time you were on with jewelry, I had asked you what some of your most wild or unexpected claims you've seen. What has been the wildest or craziest when it comes to wedding insurance?
Nothing like what I would consider wild. We've had a lot of we've had a bunch of vendor no-shows. There's a lot of vendor no-shows of like the vendor just ghosting.
So weird.
We've had situations where the photographer has disappeared post-wedding and they ended up not being able to get their photos, but they also were out a lot of money. That was a kind of a crazy situation. The sync situation was definitely very unique. There's been, like you pointed out, venue bankruptcies. There was one on the East Coast. I think it was outside of New York. And it was a very nice, very expensive venue that literally went bankrupt or was in significant financial trouble. And those people that were running the facility continued to take deposits and no one had any clue that they were in financial hardship, and they went bankrupt seemingly overnight. They filed for bankruptcy. They closed their doors. No one got deposits back. We're talking like tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Like there was some people that were weeks away from their wedding with like literally all the money down at that point. And I think it was like probably like $40,000 or $50,000 that a couple folks lost. And that was a crazy situation. But again, like this was a nice, seemingly really high-end venue. There was no reason to ever think that something was wrong. But out of the blue, like this is exactly why you want to buy this kind of coverage.
And so you were saying $200 a month. I know we can log on right now to Brite.co and get a free estimate. Takes like 30 seconds. Super, super easy, guys. What's the next steps from there?
Yeah, it's really simple. I mean, like one of our pillars for BriteCo is like just making things simple and easy to digest and easy to understand. Like we know that insurance can be confusing and annoying, frankly. And so we try to make it as simple and streamlined as possible. So in order to get a quote, I mean, you can just go to our website and check your price. Just click on the check your price button. It takes probably 30 seconds to see what to see the coverage, to see the price. Then you can choose if you want to go ahead and buy it if you want. And you can buy it right there on the website. It's super simple and super easy. And there's also, if you have questions, there's tons of resources online and FAQs. We have all that stuff on our website. But yeah, you just go to Brite.co and there's a wedding insurance section. You just click on wedding insurance.
Speaking of questions, I put a call to action out to our fans on Bridechilla's social media, and we have a couple questions for you. The first one comes from @HillSEGP, and she asks, can you share real-life examples of when wedding insurance made a huge difference for a couple and what would have happened without it?
The wedding venue bankruptcy scenario that I gave, that was a big one where all of a sudden there was a lot of the wedding venue shut down seemingly overnight. And there was a huge scramble. These people were not going to reschedule their wedding. They wanted to have the wedding on the day when everybody is, this was weeks out. So we helped them both financially and also work with them and the wedding planner to try to figure out where the new venue was going to be and all that kind of stuff. That was a massive, and they ended up having the wedding and it was great. And I think that they were totally got over the initial shock, but also like financially, there was an unbelievable backstop for them so that because like, even if they were able to get a new venue, which they did, and have the wedding and have it be beautiful and everything, spending an extra $50,000 on top does not sit well, no matter what.
All right, next fan question we have @cricket_CLE, and she asks, flowers are perishable. Is there floral-specific wedding insurance?
It's a good question. There is no floral-specific insurance, but our insurance does cover that. So if you buy the cancellation insurance product from BriteCo, we don't just cover vendor no-shows. We also cover the failure of the vendor to do their duty or what their service or product deliverable. So we wouldn't cover things like, I don't like it, You know, like we don't cover that. But if like the florist shows up and the flowers are all dead and they're literally the product or service that they were supposed to deliver, literally they did not deliver, we would cover that. So to this question, if the florist showed up with a bunch of dead flowers, we would cover that. If they didn't show up with flowers at all, we would cover that. We want to cover those unforeseen circumstances and be sort of the peace of mind and background. So no specific floral insurance, but yes, our insurance would cover that.
Thank you guys so much for your questions. And if you have any more for us, feel free to comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to it, feel free to head over to social media and comment on our clip from today's episode, because we obviously want to hear from you and be able to help you. And so I have another question for you, Dustin, from me, not from a fan. Are there any additional coverage options couples should consider adding?
If your venue, let's just say, requires liability, I would 100% add cancellation. So I think there's really a lot of value in both liability and cancellation. So one thing, add the cancellation to the liability. Second thing is for the cancellation, I know it's not fun to talk about, I know it's not fun to think about, but adding the change of heart coverage is great peace of mind. It's really nice to have. No one else covers it. It's not super expensive. I would add that as well.
It's kind of like having a prenup.
It is a lot like that.
Right? You're just covering your ass.
You're covering your ass. Everyone just feels like once you say, it's like, okay, fine. Yes. That's a great analogy. Yeah.
Anything else that we should know about having wedding insurance and why BriteCo is the best option?
No, I mean, I'm super partial, but BriteCo offers the best product in the market. From a coverage standpoint and from a pricing standpoint. Like I said before, if you want to just check your price and check out the product, just go to brite.co and click on wedding insurance, and you'll be able to kind of see more information about it. But no, it's really valuable, and it really shouldn't be overlooked.
And BriteCo is offering a really great deal for Chilla fans out there. If you head to brite.co, obviously go get that free quote. Takes no time at all. But if you decide to get the wedding insurance, which you should, you can get 5% off by using the code BRID and then the number 3. So looks like bride, but with the number 3 at the end. The link will be in the show notes, so definitely don't want to miss out on that really great opportunity. Dustin, it's been so great having you back here on Bridechilla. Thank you again for being a sponsor of the podcast. It's a pleasure always getting to be a part of everything with BriteCo.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.